happy Monday to you, wherever you are across the country, right here on track. Tracking out to Chris Griffin here in the Parks Racing Studio for Out of the Gate. It's a rapid fire show this morning, so let's get right into it. Parks playback time. Check it out.
It's playback time. Here we go. On Monday, the opener, Cabra Chica trainer James Noble, and the Bow Show, Adam Bowman, winning it nicely. Then it was Steiner and jockey Paco Lopez for trainer Jeffrey Engelhardt, who is on a roll right now. Steiner got the score. Mendelian and Jose Gomez, who had a riding triple on Monday with a ground-saving debut victory for trainer Butch Reed. Bigshot On Nothing and Carol Cedeno, they won the opener on Tuesday. Trainer Scott Lake got the front-running score. Life is simple when you get a horse at 50-1. Clarence King and Richard Mitchell teaming up with the biggest long shot of the week. Lean On E got to the front this time, didn't have to fly early and slowed things down up front. Michael Moore and Jomar Torres got the win. Wednesday time, Run White Rabbit and Don't Be Late. Just hanging on, and the now journeyman jockey Andy Hernandez got the win for trainer Rafael Ruina. Penance loves the mud. She was rolling down the center of the racetrack. Luis Rivera with the ride for trainer Frank Polera. Scarf found the seam late. Dexter Haddock with the riding triple. Big time run for trainer Kimberly Chrisman on what was a chilly and rainy week in Ben Salem. Have a great week.
Hoping for some drier conditions this week here as we got a fast main track as we get set for the racing action. 11 races. Let's take a look at race number 1. Mile and 70 yards, won that $5,000 claiming race in there. Going to go with the number 4 in there, Lady Fox. Short price, class dropper from the 12-5, Wansi Avila. Seems like this horse is just dropping back into that claim spot. They go back in for the 5,000. Should be pretty tough here because this horse did run against 12-5 competition last time out. Race number 2 at a mile and 70 yards, another $5,000 claiming race in here. The number 4, Nice of Me, when you take a look at this horse in here, 2 starts back, this horse finished 4th, beaten 3+ lengths. If you take a look at this run, this horse is first off the claim, or excuse me, was off the claim in that spot, then went back to a sprint distance of 6 furlongs. Didn't quite pan out, and also that horse was running on a muddy track. 0 for 9, 6-year-old gelding on a wet track. So gets a fast main track today, picks up Michael Sanchez. I think the 4, Nice of Me, offers you some value from a wagering standpoint. 8-1 would be a fantastic price on the 4 in race number 2. Let's take a short break and we'll come right back, take a look at a couple more races here on the card.
Now available, an enhanced Parks Racing mobile app. The improved Parks mobile app will feature biometric login through fingerprint or face ID. View wagering information before building your wager. Customizable viewing options. Hands betting and transaction history. Helpful tips. And much more. The enhanced Parks mobile app, now available.
Race number 3, taking a look at this starter race in here. 1 mile is the distance back to the number 4 in here, and that's going to be Icy Storm. Horse ran in the Vet Parks Pennsylvania Derby. 2 starts back, went over to Penn National, gets the victory, wins by a neck as the favorite. Horse is going to be 6-1 this afternoon. I think that price is going to come down, but Icy Storm seems to fit, makes a lot of sense there in today's 3rd. Race number 4 at 7 furlongs. When you take a look at the 7,500 non-4 lifetime race in here, and this is one of those races where you can kind of make a different case for quite a few runners in here. Red Pepper Grill, Richard Vega, Jose Gomez teaming up. When you take a look at some steady workouts coming in, a 4-year-old filly, By Munnings, she's got to bounce back in form a little bit. She ran at Saratoga, ran here at Parks last time out. Beaten favorite, 6 beaten 3+ lengths. Needs to run a better effort than that last start, but I think the outside draw will help. And Jose Gomez has been kind of on a roll here as you take a look at some of his wins. Had a triple last week, so we'll see if the number 8 Red Pepper Grill can get the score in race number 4. Speaking of jockeys, Anthony Nunez has been a young emerging jockey here for quite some time here at Parks, and we got a chance to catch up with him. It's in Espanol. Thanks again to my man Rob C. And we'll have the full interview on our YouTube channel, but check out a clip from our interview with Anthony Nunez.
Partí hacia Miami, Gostring, allí traté, me vio Welly Wall, empecé a trabajar con Welly Wall, tuve un año con él y cuando ya él me vio mejor físicamente, mejor en los caballos, pues me envió hacia Chicago y ahí empecé mi carrera. Pues está entre familias, mi abuelo siempre ha tenido caballos y mis amistades. Mi mamá se mudó a San Lorenzo, Cerro Gordo, donde todas mis amistades tenían caballos y pues adopté por los caballos y me gustó, me encantó los caballos y empecé a trabajar en una hacienda de caballos Paso Fino y una de las personas que trabajaba ahí era galopador con licencia en Puerto Rico y él fue el que me dijo, me vio así pequeño y me dijo, mira, ¿por qué tú no te metas jinete? Y yo, pues vamos, nunca lo había mirado en carrera, mi abuelo miraba carrera y eso, y pues vamos por encima y me cogieron en la entrevista y aquí estamos.
Again, we'll have that full interview up on our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe. Keep subscribing on YouTube right here at Parks. Race number 5, $10,000 claiming race in here. You take a look at this race. The number 2, Seafret, first off the claim for Ruperto Perez. Has the speed, hasn't been stopping in the last few. Is this horse going to get out in front? 5-year-old mare has always had that early kick, just needs to hold on in the lane. 2 for 6 of the distance, I think makes some sense in here. Over a fast main track has run well enough. This is a race where you can make a case for, again, quite a few horses in this spot, but I'll go with the 2 Seafret on top. Race number 6 going a mile. Maiden special weight race in here. When you take a look at this race, I'm on the 4s all day long today. Only God can judge me. 3rd last time out. I'm just kind of waiting for this horse to break through. This horse just continues to really run consistent enough. Just hasn't been quite enough to get the victory. There is a $1.2 million horse in here, the number 2, Ghost at Midnight, a first-time starter going 2 turns. If that horse is favored in here, who knows what's going to happen on a debut run going 2 turns for a horse that had a really high price tag like that, but the 4, Only God Can Judge Me, maybe that one gets to the winner's circle here this afternoon. We got a nice carryover jackpot in the Philly Big 5. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but check out what we've got here to talk about the Philly Big 5. Nice carryover jackpot in the Philly Big 5, over $193,000 plus. It's going to kick off in race number 7. 90% Maddie is going to be the top choice in here. Was scratched on the track of our stakes race here on Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby Cotillion Day. So you see that layoff there from August. Is going to be a short price in here. If he's ready to go, he's 2 for 2 in his career. He was going to be the favorite in that stakes race. Facing some pretty familiar foes in this spot. When you take a look at some of the horses that we've seen at the level, I shouldn't say familiar foes, but just horses that we've seen run here at Parks. Inside draw, if he's ready, he should win. Goes back to sprinting. We'll see if the 1 gets it done. Short price there to kick off that Philly Big 5. Race number 8, $15,000 claiming race in there. 6 furlongs is the distance. I'm going to go towards the outside again here with the number 8 in JW's Third Mishi. Is this horse going to have to contend with some early speed? Yes. I mean, JW's Third Mishi, I felt like that last race was kind of bouncing back in form a little bit. First, maybe Admiral, some horses to the inside. Fox Red has got some early kick. But anytime I've taken a look at a race where 4 or 5 horses look like they're all going to go to the front end, then they don't all go to the front end. They kind of all take back, and then you find a lone leader. Maybe that ends up happening here. I thought the 6-year-old gelding by Intimisha kind of bounced back in form a little bit. It looked like a race where he really kind of found that prior form. Is 1 for 15 at the distance. Slight concern for me, but we'll see if JW's Third Mishi can offer some value there in race number 8. Race number 9, $25,000 open claiming race in here, going a mile and 70 yards. The number 7, Abuelo Nuno, class drop, Jamie Ness. I like both of his horses in here. I think those are the 2 that I would include on the ticket in the Philly Big 5. Maybe you go a little bit deeper in some of those other legs. But Abuelo Nuno, 4-year-old gelding, showed some speed, has that front end kick, ran against Hold the Flight, saves some pretty good horses at the level. So I think Abuelo Nuno is going to be tough. Southern Bridge did run well last time, 2nd beat and a half length. was 8 lengths clear of Distract and Attack, who is back into this spot. So it looks like 7-4 for me. We'll see what happens there. There are some horses that can contend, but it just looks like to me that the 2 Jamie Ness runners could be very strong there in race number 9. We saw something you don't see very often right here at Parks, or really anywhere in horse racing. We saw a horse win by 34 3/4 lengths. So let's take a look at, no doubt, it was our performance of the week last week here at Parks. I'm told that's a record right here at Parks, so we are breaking records there. You saw a record there last week right here at Parks, 34 3/4 lengths. Actually got claimed out of that race as well, so we'll see how Majestic Creed does run for her new barn. Race number 10, get into the late double 6 furlongs is the distance. I'm going to go with the 5 in here as the top pick, and once I can get my notes here. Number 5 is Snow Forecast, Bobby Ann Hawthorne. Just talking about that. How about that segue there? Because she claimed Majestic Creed. Now you take a look at Andy Hernandez on the 6-year-old mare. Has done nothing wrong the last 2 starts. 6 beaten 7+ lengths, but that was at that starter race. Claimed for 10,000. Second beaten a neck in there. This horse has done some really nice work in the last few starts. This is turf to dirt. Not my favorite angle, you know that. But when you take a look at some of the horses towards the outside, they're kind of following that same pattern. So I like Snow Forecast. I think she gets a pretty decent trip, and I think she can show some front-end speed. We'll see how speed is holding at that point on the track, but we had the wet weather last week. We have a fast main track here today. It does seem like you can win from anywhere. It's a fair track, but it looks like to me that Snow Forecast, it's a pretty good trip in that 10th race. Close things out with race number 11, 12-5 claiming race in here. 6.5 furlongs is the distance. I'm going to go with the number 1 towards the inside and One Wild Woman. First off the claim, Michael Pino, Luis Rivera. I'm going to go back to these connections here. 3-year-old filly by Tiz Now. 23% first off the claim, 0 for 1 at the distance. Beaten favorite in the last start, but this horse did not run a bad race in the 3 prior starts. Has 4 career victories and is facing horses in here with only 1 lifetime score. So I just think this horse fits in a really nice spot. You take a look at the barn. First off the claim, they're very strong with these types. How far back is she going to be? Is she going to break well? Is she going to be forwardly placed? Because it seems like her better races are when she's up close to that early action. So we'll see how things do play out there for One Wild One. I threw Abadale in there as well. She ran 3rd. Jamie Ness barn now goes from the 6.5 furlongs, gets a little bit more ground to work with. We've seen this barn, obviously on this slight class drop, they fit. I'd go 1-4 in that finale. Maybe you throw in the 10 on your Philly Big 5 tickets just to go 3 deep in there. But Princess Kyra off of that last victory, is that going to be enough here in this spot? That's the way I see it. 11 races, just flew right through it. Of course, you can follow us on all of our social media accounts. I'm going to be heading towards the Breeders' Cup this weekend, so I'm going to be a fan of racing, so make sure you say hello to me. Maybe I'll wear my shirt down there. How about that? But we'll see you guys here next week on Out of the Gate with another episode. Have a wonderful Halloween. Check us out on all of our social media accounts, at Parks Racing, at In the Grandstand. Hit that subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. And on Instagram, it's Parks_Racing. We'll see you next week. Great racing action coming up. 3 days. Fast main track. And we'll see what happens in the world of baseball as well. I know everybody's rooting for a certain team that's playing not very far away from here. We'll see you next week here on Out of the Gate here at Parks.